As of January 14th, 2020, Microsoft has officially killed Windows 7, ending support for it, which they have been telling people about for the past year or so, that they would be completely ending support for the operating system. And there are still a lot of people out there who have adamantly hung on to Windows 7, basically defying authority and saying that I will upgrade to Windows 10 when you pry Windows 7 from my cold, dead hands. And the nagging to upgrade to Windows 10 is now at a fever pitch, as it is worse than ever. So we're going to be talking about that, and also a PSA about an open beta registration for the game Disintegration, which I honestly had never heard of until earlier today when they opened up the beta registration, which you could sign up for right now. We're going to get fired into all of that news. Today's video is brought to you by bzfuture.com, where you could save money on gaming accessories for your PC setup, from keyboards to mice, controllers, desks, headphones, you name it. They have got you covered with all of your PC gaming accessories. And BZ Future now offers software, and they've got their Happy New Year sale going on right now, where you can grab yourself a free copy of Windows 10 Pro along with the antivirus software of your choice at the same price as what you would normally spend on an affordable Windows 10 key. Right now, you can get McAfee Antivirus for $15.98 along with that free copy of Windows 10 Pro. You'll get your key within minutes on your account over on bzfuture.com, and then you can take that key, head over to McAfee's website, and activate it and download your software within just minutes of making your payment. And if you head over there right now and use my code BZJP at checkout, you'll get an additional 10% off of your purchase. So be sure to hit up the link down in the description below to bzfuture.com. But we will start off by talking about Microsoft Windows 7, which, as I said, so many people are still hanging on to Windows 7. I'm sure some of you right now are watching this and still defiantly running Windows 7 and refusing to upgrade to Windows 10 or Windows 8. I mean, I can understand not upgrading to Windows 8, with the whole Metro interface and everything like that. It was awful. Although you were able to hide it with some third-party applications and stuff like that. And I actually really liked Windows 8 once I did hide the Metro interface and never touch it again, because it was god-awful. Don't know what they were thinking. But with Windows 10, I know a lot of people are also against that because of like the automatic updating, even though you can control that yourself, especially if you buy a professional copy and not a home copy of Windows 10. But then you've got the marketing stuff like that, and sending all your data back to Microsoft and using that to sell you things. Although personally for me, that's never really impacted me, as all of that stuff I pretty much disable all of the telemetry within Windows 10. So I personally don't have a problem with Windows 10, although in most of the updates that it's been getting over recent years, they continue to break a lot of things. But the update that came out at the end of 2019, many people have actually been heralding as the best version of Windows 10 to date, as they went back and they fixed a ton of issues which people have been complaining about pretty much ever since Windows 10 came out in 2015. But of course, there are still going to be people out there that are hesitant to switch over to Windows 10. And if you're on Windows 7, you've probably been getting these nag warnings, which people are referring to them as. I mean, they've had them for years, where you would basically get a pop-up in the corner of your screen that would tell you should upgrade to Windows 10 now. It was even free. They ended the free upgrade support a few years ago, but you can actually still do it if you went through the prompts in Windows 7 or Windows 8 and 8.1. You could actually still upgrade to Windows 10 for free, at least up until January 14th, just 2 days ago. So sadly, if you didn't upgrade to Windows 10 by now, you are now going to have to pay for a license. So maybe use one of those sponsor links mentioned at the beginning of the video. But right now, if you are running on Windows 7, you may have seen this screen pop up on your screen. So it's not just a warning in the bottom right hand corner now, it's a complete full screen nag from Microsoft. It's basically urging you to upgrade to Windows 10 as soon as possible, because of course they want you on Windows 10, because then you become the what they're selling. Basically, they are probably selling user data to other companies and using it for their own nefarious purposes. That's one of the main reasons they want people on Windows 10. I really don't think it's for the sales so much of Windows 10. I think they just want more people on it so that they can get more user data to be able to stockpile and use for their like I said, either their own purposes or for the other companies, but that's, the tinfoil hat theory. So this warning that pops up for Windows 7 PC, which is not out of support, it says this. It says, as of January 14th, 2020, support for Windows 7 has come to an end. Your PC is more vulnerable to viruses and malware due to no security updates, no software updates, and no tech support. And then it continues to say that Microsoft strongly recommends using Windows 10 on a new PC for latest security features and protection against malicious software. So while they have had Windows 10 for a while, they were still delivering security updates and stuff to Windows 7, but it appears that is now completely over. So it is not going to really be that safe to run on Windows 7, as you could leave yourself open to attacks, although there's probably going to be, you could really just use a lot of common sense to avoid, most of the viruses and things like that out there, but there could maybe be some backdoor things, things that maybe you can't prevent by not clicking on something in an email from someone you don't know who it is, or visiting Pornhub and clicking on a link that you shouldn't be clicking on in the first place. And why are you on Pornhub, you naughty boy? There are things that even you can't prevent, as a possibility you could become infected with on your PC by not upgrading to Windows 10, but a lot of people consider Windows 10 to basically be adware, because it kind of is. So yeah, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But if you're on Windows 7 right now, has this full screen nag warning and the complete end of support for the Windows 7 operating system, has that persuaded you now to upgrade to Windows 10, or are you still holding on to Windows 7 for as long as humanly possible? As I said, I don't really have a problem with Windows 10. It works fine for me. I've never had any major issues with it. There's been a few little things here or there, but they've all been fixed pretty shortly after they started happening. So as I said, I use it. I mostly started using it for DirectX 12 games. So that's like one of the main reasons I switched over to using Windows 10 to begin with, because it's required for DirectX 12 games. But let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this. Have you upgraded to Windows 10? If you're still on 7, are you going to do it very soon because of this? I'd love to hear your guys' feedback, especially all of you would-be Windows 7 users. And next up, I just briefly wanted to talk about the open beta registration for Disintegration, which, as I said at the start, this is a game I only just heard about, but apparently they showed it off at Gamescom and things last year, and it looks to be a mech first-person shooter type of game. It's actually from the original creator of Halo, like the first ever Halo game, like the original person that made that game is basically responsible for Disintegration. So if that gives you any idea of the type of creative talent behind it, then maybe you might want to try it out. Personally, I don't know if how good the game's going to be when it comes out, and that's one of the reasons I like to play these betas early on, is to just get a good feel for the game and see if it's something I might want to purchase. It's like an early demo. So if you do want to sign up for the Disintegration demo, I will have a one-tab link down in the description below for all the sources, which will include a link over to the website for the technical beta, which I don't know exactly when that's going to be releasing, but you could sign up for it now. You got to give them your name, email address, birthday, location, preferred language, how you heard about it, and then you could select your platform. Obviously on your PC, this will be running on Steam, but you can also play it on Xbox One and PS4 as well if you want to do it on there. It looks like they're going to be having the technical beta for all platforms, and we've also got these system requirements, which they say for an NVIDIA system, looking at a CPU, which would be an i5 5th generation or a Ryzen 5 1600 CPU. For the GPU, they're recommending a GTX 970 or an RX 480 graphics card, 8 gigabytes of system memory, and this is targeting 1080p resolution, probably 60 frames per second around high settings. The visuals on the game actually do look pretty decent, so yeah, I'll be curious to see how well this game runs, and maybe we'll cover it on the channel once the beta goes live and we can try it out, give you guys my thoughts on it, how the game is performing and everything like that. Hopefully it's a good game. We'd love to have another first-person shooter to play. But that is all I've got for you guys right now. As I said, I'm going to have links down below for the sources, so check those out if you want the link for the Disintegration beta sign-up, which you could sign up for right now. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. If you enjoyed this video or learned anything new, leave a thumbs up on it, subscribe if you're not already, and if you've been here for a while, ring that notification bell. That way you never miss a video as soon as it goes up live on the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video.